German chocolate is the best chocolate ever. Hey everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about car related things. I'm just going to get straight to the point and open this box and show you what's in the box and I guess how to use it, because, well, how-tos are my specialty, I guess. So I'm holding this steering wheel just because this box is a product. Basically what's in the box is a product, and it's called steering wheel restoration kit. So basically what's in it is it's a kit that contains a product that helps you or allows you to do a restoration on your steering wheel or anything else that is leather. Really, it doesn't have to be a steering wheel. I have a shift knob here that is in a fairly good shape, but it's a little bit the leather is a little bit worn. The steering wheel is basically, I already used this product, I tested it, I tried, I used it on this steering wheel and another steering wheel, and it seems to work just fine. So I guess what I'm going to do is, like I said 10 times already, I'm going to show what's in the box, and I'm going to use this shift knob as a test specimen just to demonstrate how this product works. It is a steering wheel restoration kit, just like I said. Here's the name for it, where it's made. I think it's made in Europe. I hope it is. So this kit allows you to restore just one specific color of leather. This is going to be black. It's not going to work on anything else. It's meant to be used for black leather. So most steering wheels are black, so I guess that makes sense. So this kit contains instructions on the back side, and I think, if I remember correctly, there is a small booklet inside of this, and you can also use that to read the instructions, how to use it. I guess I'm going to show what's in it. There's a couple of things. There are a couple of these foam application pads. The next thing is this bottle that's called Rapid Leather and Vinyl Cleaner. There's this bottle that's called degreaser. There's this bottle that's called leather dye. That's the important part. Black colored fluid. And there's this one. The last one is dye and friction blocker. So this is the last step. And the last thing is this sanding pad. I think it's two-sided. It's got foam in the middle, and it's the same grit on both sides. So all of these things are needed to do the restoration process. So here's the sequence that you will have to follow. This thing that is called cleaner is going to be step number 1. The degreaser is going to be step number 2. Sanding is going to be step number 3. The leather dye application is going to be step number 4. And this dye and friction blocker is going to be step number 5. So that's basically how it goes. You clean, degrease, you sand, apply the dye to the leather, and actually there is a note that you have to wait like 24 hours before applying the last thing, that is the blocker. So this shift knob, it's all black leather, it's not perforated, it's real leather, it's not vinyl or anything like that fake. I checked and verified. Two things, it's got this silver ring here that you cannot see now, and there's this emblem on the top of it. I already masked it, so you use masking tape and mask those things, so you are not going to really ruin those. Because you will be sanding things here, and sanding is you can potentially scratch things up. I highly suggest using gloves, but in the meantime I'm going to try and have my tea also. One thing that I'm forgetting to mention, this kit comes with a couple of paper towels or fabric-like paper towels that they suppose that you're going to be using to wipe things off, clean and such, but I'm not going to be using those because I can be using something else that I actually like better, and those I just don't care. I guess I'm going to use this because I'm not in the garage. It's too cold. The weather is too cold, so I'm in my home office, and yes, I don't want to make a big of a mess here. You have to spray this cleaner and actually clean this. Let's see how dirty this is. Well, I don't see much dirt actually coming off. Well, there is dirt right there. Well, with the leather, it's kind of, sometimes it's hard to notice or see the dirt, but trust me, things get dirty. So basically, oh wow, I cleaned it, and I don't even know if I should be doing anything to it. Wow, just look at it. We have to do what we have to do. So we are done with the cleaner. Now we move on to the degreaser, and the degreaser is this bottle. Remove this bottle. All of these steps are actually kind of easy to follow, and it's understandable, really. I mean, just clean it, degrease it. That's not like nothing special about it. Like, everyone knows how to do it. I guess what's a little bit difficult is when you start sanding things, because you really don't want to sand the leather too much. So you just basically have your clean leather, and it's clean and degreased, and then you just start sanding it. So you basically just make it so what happens when you start sanding the leather, it becomes dull. As you can see, it's a little bit shiny here, but it becomes dull where in the places where you sand it. The instructions to the kit actually say that you have to work on the spots that you need to restore. Doesn't specifically say that you have to do the whole steering wheel, but I guess, well, because steering wheels usually have spots that wear out and such. So, and since this is a shift knob, it's it's one big spot, I guess. So I'm going to sand it like this, like basically all of it, and I'm not applying really much pressure because you really don't want to scratch the leather too much. You don't want to destroy it. Basically, you just gently rough it up. This is the sandpaper that you have to be using. You can substitute this, I guess, with whatever you have, but you kind of have to figure out what the grit this is. It feels like something like 600, 400, 600, 800, something in that range. Is it 1,000? Well, no, it's not as fine as 1,000. So, and the instructions on the box, or nothing says what the grit this sandpaper, the sanding block is. It's just the kit provides it, and you just use it. So, and I don't think it will wear out that much, because I've done like 3 steering wheels, and I still use just one side, and I didn't even get to the second side yet. So this thing is really going to last you a long time. So I guess what I'm trying to do is to get all the gloss out of, degloss it, I guess. That's the idea here, because the next step is going to be a product that will have to adhere or soak into the surface. So if you have a really shiny, glossy surface, the leather dye is not going to stick to it, or it's not going to get absorbed. I guess that's the physics behind the process, or chemistry, physics. And I'm done with the sanding paper block, and that's what it looks like. I'm going to remove the dust. It does have a bit of a dust. You can use a dry towel or paper towel or whatever, microfiber. Just wipe the dust off, and once you wipe the dust off, the leather actually starts to look really fresh, almost like, I actually like it the way it is now. It's this looks kind of nice, dull looking finish, but I'm assuming that this is not going to really last. But in any case, you get off the dust, and that's what the shift knob looks like at this point, or the leather, I guess. So the next step is going to be, as you can see, this side is already black, and it actually dries and becomes hard. So I guess there is a limited use to these foam blocks. So if your hands are greasy or slippery or whatever, try not to touch the leather. You don't want to introduce anything to the finished, cleaned and sanded leather that you're going to be applying the dye to. So I'm going to put a little bit of a product here, like that. And I'm going to start, they say dab. I'm going to start doing this, and that's when you really should be using gloves, because this will get into your fingers. And you can apply coat by coat. That's what the instructions say. You apply basically one coat. After that's done, you can apply another coat, and it's basically, well, the instructions say that you can apply as many coats as it needs. Well, I guess that was a little bit too much for this little shift knob. It's like basically painting with a foam block. So you really want to get a nice even coat. You don't want to really have like blobs and runs. So at this point I will let it sit like this. I found a glove, and that's a really good idea. Or even 2 gloves. 2 gloves is going to be even better than 1. So at this point you can see that the leather dye is dry, and that means that you can apply another coat if you need to. I'm not 100% sure, maybe I should. Let's do another coat. I'm doing really fine thin coats. So I'm going to have a little tiny, whoa, I said little tiny, and we'll do another coat. Well, you basically have a couple of different ways of applying this. You can dab it like that, or you can combine two different methods. You can just dab, or you can just, I guess, slide your foam block applicator, whatever works for you. The one that doesn't leave streaks and lines and such. What probably works even better if you have your shifter lever. That I have it, I should have brought it here from the garage. You can just put this knob on the shifter lever, and that way you can hold the shifter lever and you don't have to really deal with trying to keep this in your hand. And try not to let this slip out of your fingers, because if it does, it will fly somewhere and you may get so the leather dye is wet, so if it drops into like a dirt or a dusty something that has dust inside, you probably have to redo this process. Sand it again, clean it, sand it. I think 2 coats is enough. I can see that the surface is really nice and even. There is no like spots or anything else. Looks really nice. Almost 100% new. ZHP shift knob is probably the best shift knob ever. So I'm going to set this aside because it's pretty much done. I think 2 coats is plenty enough for this knob, I guess, for this leather. The leather was not terrible to start with. And that's pretty much all. You now have to let this sit for 24 hours, and then you have to apply this step number 5. You do not, this is bottle number 4. This is the dye and friction blocker. So I guess since you're touching this thin gold like way too often, and you apply pressure to it, same as the steering wheel, I guess, but so I guess that's really going to help. It will help it to last. So I guess this is the finished product. Once the dye dries up, you can unmask everything, or actually I would advise to do the last step, the protector blocker, the blocker, that's what it's called. I suggest you apply that first, and then you do unmasking and things like that, so you don't handle this fresh leather dye that you have applied, so you don't contaminate it with grease and such. So I will let it sit for 24 hours without touching it, and then I'll do this, and I guess I can actually show what it's going to be like when it's applied. So I can wait for 24 hours, and that's not a big deal. But for now, I guess that should be it for now. Well, I guess we'll see you in 24 hours. And here we are, 24 hours or so later. Step number 5, whatever, the last bottle, dye and friction blocker. Shake it, apply it to this foam block. Don't have to, I guess, use a lot, or kind of makes no sense. It gets all over the place fairly easy. Just apply. How many coats? I think 1 coat is what it takes. Otherwise, it's going to be, once you apply this product to the leather and let it cure or dry, I kind of think that the second coat would actually be redundant, I guess, at this point, because this blocker, what I'm trying to say is, I guess, I'm not sure if you can do 2 coats. I probably should read what the instructions say and not guess like that. So step number 5, it's well, that's what I'm doing here. The last step, a day later, apply dye and friction blocker to increase durability and resistance of the repaired area. So it doesn't say how many coats, it just says apply, and that's basically all you have to do, just apply. I'm going to apply that to this too, let it cure. How long it takes for this last dye blocker to cure, I doesn't say. Well, I think besides these little instructions, there should be a booklet or something that describes the process, how to properly do the process, and I just don't recall. If I don't see it anywhere, it's nowhere to be found, so I don't know if I got rid of it, or as one of the greatest people that I ever met in my life said once, problem of the engineers is that they never read instructions. And I laughed at it when he said that. It was many years ago. After a while I realized that it is true. I don't like reading instructions. I just don't. And at this point, once everything dries up or cures, what you can do, you can unmask whatever you masked. So once the friction blocker dries up or cures, you have a finished product that you can use. That's what it looks like after the use of that steering wheel restoration kit. Well, this is not a steering wheel, but it's pretty much a demonstration piece, and that's the result. It looks pretty good in my opinion. Nice. There you go. This is it. This is the results of using this kit. Am I going to recommend buying this kit? I guess because, well, it depends. If you have a full-blown garage with the equipment and everything, you may have everything in the garage already. All you have to do is probably just buy the leather dye itself and like sanding blocks, foam blocks, paper towels, cleaning solutions, degreasers and all that. You may already have that in your garage. All you have to do is buy the leather dye and just do the process, and you will have a similar result. The only question is the quality of the leather dye. Otherwise, if you have nothing like that and you need to do a bit of a restoration, I guess, with the leather pieces, then yeah, this kit makes sense. You just buy everything is in it. You just buy it. It's not that expensive. If you start buying supplies separately, you might run into the same cost. And that's pretty much all, I guess. That's it. Ta-da! Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.